So every time I watched y'all, it was a question of who's going to get to the quarterback first. Did y'all do like rock, paper, scissors, or something like that? Because nobody but y'all were going to get to that quarterback. So how did y'all determine how that worked out?
Well, I mean, it was a no-brainer. I mean, listen, we practiced so hard out there with Coach Mike Dubose that pushed every single button in my being to just to whatever it took to get to the quarterback. Colt was going to do. He was going to be on one end. I was going to be on the other end, and it was a contest. You know, it wasn't like we were. You know, I was the one to applaud him when he got there. He applauded me when I got there. But it was just the excitement about it, man. You know, we really enjoyed.
Yeah.
You know, taking time out to see that quarterback on his ass, and man, that was like the best. That was like Mark McGuire or Barry Bonds hitting a home run. That's what it was for us, because we worked so hard in practice. I mean, it was easy. It was easy. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Thank you, E. Thank you.
No.
Hey, let me piggyback off that. Let me piggyback off that. Speaking of putting a quarterback on his ass, John, would you please talk about when you took down Stan White? I still don't think that man got off the ground. But man, that had to have been the hardest hits.
You know the funniest thing about that? That was the first time that me and Eric lined up on the same side. Wow. Remember that, E? It was called Hound Dog. So a Hound Dog, I could line up wherever I wanted to. And I lined up next to E, and we had a TE stunt, which means we had an ET stunt, which means Eric is going to go inside, and I'm going to loop around Eric. Well, I jabbed the guy inside. Eric wiped down the whole damn side of the offensive line, so I had a full sprint to Stan White.
Yeah.
Uncontested.
I'll tell y'all what would be really cool. Alabama plays Miami the first game of next season. Mm-hmm. Y'all two need to walk out on the coin toss, suited up and everything.
Where's Terrell gonna be?
See, they gonna look like Cloud and Ray Banks out there.
We on deck. We next. Hey, I take that back, because they might show up in the fourth quarter. I take it back.
EC. I don't know about you, but I might walk out there suited up. I'm going to limp all the way to the goddamn finish.
I'm saying this though. I wonder what Jay Barker was telling Gino every time Gino came off the field.
Man, didn't Miami come out there wearing national championship shirts the week of the game, taunting y'all?
They were. I don't know what they were wearing, but I know there was a problem on the out there when we were walking around
on Bourbon Street,
and you know, we basically got into their heads before the game even started. So you know, they were already intimidated, you know, by a couple of our guys, you know, by a couple of our goons that we had on our team, and I mean, it was pretty much over with, man, before we even suited up, you know, because it was a thing where, you know, we felt less of a unit. Everybody was embarrassing us, you know what I'm saying? We had never had a chance. And so, you know, we went in there with attitude and that we was going to be relentless. And we did our thing. You know, we put into that ass good.
No doubt.
Remember the night before the game, how that went down? Like New Year's, me and you in the room. Yeah, you know how that went down.
Right, come on, don't disclose too much. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, let me tell you something. Hey, Marvin.
You don't know nothing about that, bro.
Hey, Marvin, they was on back page. They was on back page.
There wasn't no back page then, bro. There wasn't no back page then.
Hey, actually, what I'm saying had nothing to do with no female. It did nothing to do with no female. It was just me and E doing me and E. Yeah. You know,
I gotta ask y'all something, man. How did y'all play with Antonio Langham, the class clown himself, boy?
Yeah, he's a football player though. He joke around and he bullshit all the time. But when you put him on between them stripes, he's a football player. He's a guy you want to go to war with.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Hey, but you know something. Not this has nothing to do with the national championship game, but this has something to do with the Florida game. So when they were pretty much, I was jumping outside, I was getting all behind the quarterback. What I'm saying, I was they was putting had the draw coming underneath me and all that stuff. So Colt was pretty much keeping it tied up in the middle or whatever. So it was passes. I was getting all up the field, and they was throwing the passes to Jackson and a couple other players or whatever. So when Lamb caught the interception, I think he said before he caught the interception, he said, I'm gonna sit on this pass right here because I know what they're getting ready to do. Because they didn't think the Lang was gonna be sitting there smart enough to wait for them to throw that little out rock. And they kept throwing the out rock, kept throwing that dig.
That's right, because we was in cover 3 and they kept throwing them short routes. Lang shot on it. That's right.
Langham said, y'all don't think Langham's smart now. He has plenty of sense out on there. He has football sense, like I don't know.
Yeah, he got plenty of sense, but you wouldn't think so. Wearing number 43 in the secondary, he's back there looking like a
yeah.
I told him he had the first number as a DBL.
You understand? The number don't make the player make the number.
That's the same thing he said the coach told him.
That's what the coach told him. The coach told him.
Hold on. Lay off Langham now. He had number 43. He did better than me. They gave me an alphabet. So look. Everybody else, when we won our city county championship, they had rings. They gave me a candy necklace. So come on, bro. Don't do that.
Hey, I guarantee you, if you go ask any Alabama fan who is number 3, and I don't care who wore since Langham, they're going to say Antonio Langham.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true.
43. He's the only one that ever wore 43 besides a long snapper that actually did something.
First round draft pick. Lead Alabama in interception. Thorpe Award. Come on, man. You can't hate on. Don't hate Marvin.
Oh, no, I ain't hate. Langham, my guy. Me and Langham joke around almost. We joke every week now. I talk to Langham all the time, but I be giving it to him about that number 43.
What number you wore at Alabama?
45.
Oh shit!
But as a linebacker,
you know that number Colt Lynch.
I wore 45 as a linebacker though. See,
that's a running back number.
I wore the letter R. Hey, I'm just trying to get in the conversation. I'm just trying to.
Man,
watching y'all play.
Okay, but you know what? Hey, but real talk, we getting off the subject again. Curry, Copeland, what do y'all think about Alabama's defense today? That's a great question. Versus y'all's defense.
I think Alabama have had some really good defenses. I don't think the defense but the game have changed though. I think the offenses are a lot ahead of the defenses right now. Just because of the way the game have changed. Yeah. But I'm highly disappointed in the last couple of years on how the defensive line at Alabama have played. I think, being a defensive lineman, I think being at Alabama, we dominate the football game. We win national championship because of our defensive line. And we've done it since me and Eric left because of our defensive linemen. And I think we need to get back.
Yeah.
So what's been the biggest problem on the line that y'all have seen?
What's the biggest? Say that one more time.
No penetration.
So what's been the biggest issue that y'all have seen in the recent defensive lines?
In my opinion, the speed and athleticism. They don't have any. I mean, they can't run. They have no athleticism. They're a bunch of slow twitch guys that
What Coach? I'll put it right here. They rely on their linebackers and cornerbacks to make the plays, to be the playmakers.
I said that, Marvin. I said that the D-line. I said that. I told you. The D-line.
We just came on too late for you to say that. We just came on too late. That's what I saw that was.
Hey man, I'm telling you, the D-line hadn't been doing them for Bama. They had a couple of standouts. But as far as the D-line as a whole, as a unit, they weren't doing that, and it's really bad. But it's really been bad for the last year or two. Me coming up watching Bama, watching these guys, it was religion. You could not run on Bama. Period. It didn't start with the linebackers. It started with the D line.
Yeah, that's where it all started.
I think it's a little bit.
Whether Copeland and Curry came in the game late or not, they were starters. They still showed up.
Look, I think it's a little bit. I also think, we had some guys who come through that was pretty good individually. I don't think we've had.
I said that
a duo kind of like, and then everybody forget about James Gregory. James did his thing in the middle.
Right.
He did his thing. And I don't think you compare when you compare different defensive linemen at Alabama, and I think about like John Hand and them guys, and that's kind of what I compared myself to when I got to Alabama. I want to be like those guys, but me and Eric, we were just put in the perfect storm. I mean, as soon as I got on campus, we clicked, moved into the room with him. We did everything together. We worked out. We pushed each other. We did everything together. So it's kind of like the perfect storm. Like, I didn't play to be a good football player. I played not to let Eric down. If that makes sense.
Somebody give him some picture. I'm sorry.
So question: Did y'all play in a 3-4 or y'all played in the 4-3? What y'all played?
We played in the 3-4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we played a true two gap. I mean, you didn't know what gap you had until the ball was snapped. Two gap's not what it was back then. Now, now two gap. You put the guy body in a gap and you hold the gap. Back when
I played with defensive linemen who just did what they wanted to do.
We played true. We played true two gap. Like, you didn't know what your gap was. You had this gap or that gap, but you didn't know what it was until the ball was snapped.
Oh, and Curry and Copeland, let me ask y'all one more question.
Sure,
now, I'm telling you, I study a lot of football. Tell me if I'm lying or not. The D lines for the Alabama for the last 2 years, they also played without a lot of discipline.
A lot of what?
Without a lot of discipline.
I guess so, man. I don't know if that relies heavily on the defensive line coach or the defensive coordinator, but I guess to play the integrity of the defense, I guess you have to be, disciplined enough to play the position and to allow yourself to be a player out there. But you're right. I mean,
thank you.
It's kind of hard to answer that question because you don't know the scheme of the defense.
You see me like trying to figure something out. I don't know what the scheme. I don't know what they're doing.
Hey man, I look. Game recognized game. I ain't got discipline and shit, so I know they ain't play with discipline because I ain't disciplined in life, so I know undisciplined when I see it.
You got to understand the scheme though, but because if what you're looking at on TV and you might see a guy do something you're like, why he did that, but that might be the scheme. It might be the scheme of the defense though.
Hold on, you looking at it on TV, man? I done snuck in so many Bama games. What?
And you was out there selling cokes, or acting like you was selling cokes.
Yeah.
Well, you might have COVID then.
Hey, look, Steve, you was out there with a room full of middle school and high school. What are these grown ass in here doing?
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something about EC y'all probably don't know. EC is a damn good golfer.
What?
EC's a hell of a golfer.
Watch out, Cole. Watch out now.
Hey,
put it out there.
I know all that.
Let me one more, son. Because I know this man right here. I know he's a golfer. I know he is.
So the white guy?
Huh?
The white guy? That's profiling. That's profiling me. That's profiling.
No, he can play.
No.
Wait a minute. Welcome to the Justin Riley Marvin Constant show where the host gets racially profiled.
This is why our show does so well because no other show is doing this.
Hey, Justin.
So I welcome that. I'm a power lifter.
Next they gonna ask you if you're a stockbroker, man.
Next they're gonna ask if he invested in GameStop. If he has some shares in the GameStop.
Hey,
I'm 100 there. I don't have
Hey, Justin.
Marvin.
Hey, Justin. Hey, go ahead. Justin, get your astronaut suit together, man. Get the astronaut suit ready, Justin.
Yeah.
Marvin, we didn't invited 2 races on the show.
We have an open community, man. We
about to get
I didn't say he could play golf. I don't know. I didn't say he could play golf at all.
At all. Can't play golf.
Look like to me he can bake a hell of a cake.
Damn right.
Justin, and 500 more white boys for the march.
See, my knees can't take that.
He said, you know you can play golf.
Hey, let me tell you. Hey,
we don't do that in Mississippi.
Hey, let me tell you a story.
On the second day of Black History Month, Justin was wrong.
Remember that. We had
somebody died. Here we go.
David Palmer was a freshman, right? David Palmer was a freshman. We ain't really seen him do nothing for real. You remember this? We had that scrimmage over at Brian Dennis Stadium.
Okay.
And he said, Cope, come on, man, watch this. They said this kid here's good. And we're doing live punt team. Right? So everything live. David Palmer they kicked the ball to David Palmer. Ain't nobody touched him. He looked at me and said, that guy for real. Real deal.
You know,
David Palmer was a football player.
Oh, yeah.
Real football player.
That's how Smith.
I actually watched him in high school when they came to Tuscaloosa and played Central. I seen him in high school. How good he was.
I was coaching there. I was coaching at Central. Man, they had him doing everything, running punts, kickoffs, quarterback. He was doing everything. And I think the only reason Central won that game because I think he got tired. Then they started tagging his ass in the fourth quarter. But when I tell you that brother, he was a quarterback, threw the ball, ran down and caught the bitch and got a touchdown. I mean, he doing it. I mean, really.
Wasn't he the punter and he was kicking off? I mean, he did everything.
He was doing everything. And look. He
was the offense at Alabama on that 92 championship. Him and David Lassie. We don't have 2 players. We don't have no offense. Period.
One of the things you talked about, and I definitely heard this, was how close you guys were, not only between you two, but as a team. How much does that translate to the on-the-field success? And do you think like that's missing from today's game?
Well,
go ahead.
I just think that we stay in a dorm. You know what I'm saying? We that's all we had was each other. You know what I'm saying? So if there was there was always that camaraderie where we were in like a building. It was you had the frat house, you had the Kappa house, and you had some other pedestrians back there, but that's all we had was each other.
Right.
We can only go to each other when we had problems. Sometimes we were knuckle it up about it. We'd laugh about it, but it was you could never take away that closeness we had because it was a close knit family, and we wasn't staying in no dorms or I'm sorry, we wasn't staying in no condos or apartments or whatever else like that. So we had to deal with our problems and deal with our issues amongst each other.
Right.
So, I agree with that 110%. I mean, everything was right there. All of us was right there, no matter what was going on, when or how. It was all right there all the time. We ate together, we slept together, we worked together, we cried, we laughed together, and it was because we all lived in a dorm. And I think that just that opportunity to be with each other all the time play dividends in us being the kind of team that we was and how close we was.
Right. And being a coach now, do you feel like that's starting to fade away? That camaraderie that you experience with the players of today's game, is it as strong, or where do you feel like it is?
I don't think it's fading away. I think it's a coach's job to pull his team together. I think it's a coach. I mean, you might have to do as a coach. You might have to do some things you probably wouldn't have to do in the past. I mean, sometimes you have to create environments for your guys to get together when you really didn't have to do that in the past. But
right.
I think a team mentality or team character, it always going to come down to the character of the coach. I do.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of coach, I want to get your impression on Gene Stallings and your relationship with him, and I like to talk about that with anyone that's come from your team or during this whole tenure there. What was your relationship like with him?
Well, before you answer, it's approaching 9:15, so I kind of got to run.
Well, after this, we're going to wrap it up. But I just wanted to get this one little last question in because I like to hear the answer. I like to hear this answer from all the guys that played for him.
Well, being a defensive lineman, defensive guy, my biggest relationship was with Mike Dubose. Spent a lot of time with Coach Dubose. Molded me into the man that I am, and molded me into the football player that I am. But my dealings, and I can't really speak on it, but every time I've reached out to Coach Stallings while I was at Alabama and since then, he have always been there for me. Always. Never hesitation, never a question. He have always been there.
Even today, he's still there. He's still hands-on with you. He's one of the building blocks of someone saying that you want a player's coach. You want somebody to be your confidant, to be a confidant, and to be able to talk to you and close the door, and you as if you're talking to your father or your uncle or someone that's close to you, that you can keep an intimate secret or anything that needs to be dealt with outside of football, or it's going to be dealt with Coach Stallings.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
He's a man's man. He's special. He's a special gentleman. He's very special. In my heart, he's extremely special.
Before we close out, Marvin, you want to give us a rundown about how your book's doing, some testimony and all that good stuff, and how we can get our hands on it?
40plusstrong.com, 40plusstrong. And again, the book is doing what the book does, baby. If you follow me on IG, you'll see it for yourself. On IG, you can find me Constant45. That's the best way to get a hold to me. And again, you'll see the progress on there from all the people who use the book, who use the 40 Plus Strong fitness accessories, all of the above.
Hey, Marvin.
Yes, sir.
Being in Atlanta, you ain't got to use Backpage, do you? You go to the gas station.
Well, my other half, she's upstairs, so she doesn't allow those type of activities. You trying to get me killed, see?
Good answer, buddy.
DC, you live in Atlanta, dog. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know you're right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, y'all trying to get me cut, man. Y'all.
He's about to get married too, man.
Right, y'all had it want me kill me.
Oh, you about to get married?
Yeah.
I take all that back. I'm sorry. I take all that back.
Hey, April is approaching fast.
Well, congratulations to you, man.
Yeah.
You and your future bride, man. Much success to your family and your endeavor.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you guys coming on. We were really excited leading up to this week. Because like we said earlier, you guys were the Alabama Standard. And when you think about the best defensive ends and the best defensive players, period, in the Alabama history, you two come out in first names, always. So, man, we appreciate y'all coming on and sharing the stories with us. And, man, just giving us your time, man. Thanks a lot. And by the way,
thank you.
How can people reach you or get in contact with you? Are y'all on social media?
Nah, don't reach out to me.
I'm old school. I don't do social media, but you know.
Gotcha.
I let you
people who y'all want to find you know how to find you, right?
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, EC.
Find me. You good?
EC.
Yes, sir.
Man, I love you, brother, man. I appreciate you doing it for me, man.
No,
Thank y'all, man.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right. You know you guys.
All right. Y'all be cool, man.
Yeah,
All right,
roll
roll
tide.
tide.